Good morning, everyone. This is Linda Jo Heffner, and I'm the author of Tainted Seas, my sailor story. But today, we're not going to do that. Today, we're going to have a special guest. We're having the Nicholas Sparks of the military, of the Navy's own Nicholas Sparks, Jim Adams. And we're so happy to have you here today, Jim. And my first question to you is, why in the world would a tough guy like you, who served in the Navy, be writing romance novels?
Well, it kind of started out almost as an accident, really. I was having a hard time sleeping, and I'd read somewhere to overload your brain with a story. So I started a story, alternate reality of me staying in the Navy. And I figured, hey, this person needs to have a companion. So I invented a young lady that he got to know. This went on for about 6 months, and I decided I'm going to start writing this. So I started writing it down, and it just kind of grew from there. And I've kind of enjoyed doing it.
Well, now that you have one book already published, why don't you tell us about this book? Give us a little teaser so we know what to expect. Now, guys, you want to get your notes out and listen here. You're going to write this all down so you have it. And ladies, don't fall in love with his characters. Okay, Jim, give us a teaser.
Okay, the name of the book is In the Stars, and it's the first book in the series that I've titled Always and Forever. And this covers a young lady. Her name's Emily Rosen, who she was kind of like a broken woman. She had a divorce, kind of didn't know what she was doing in life, and stumbled across the Navy recruiter and figures, hey, that looks good. So she joins the Navy. Then the other character, Gene Bain, he's already in the Navy. He'd gotten hurt and decided that he wants to stay in, which then ends up leading to his divorce. Well, he's deployed over in the Mediterranean on USS Karen. She's deployed in the Mediterranean on the tender USS Yellowstone. They happen to meet in Naples because something broke on his ship that he couldn't fix, and they told him, go have the person on the tender fix it. So they tell him, hey, go down and talk to Petty Officer Rosen. He gets down there and he starts talking to all the guys. And they're like, no, that's not Rosen. That's Rosen. And she stands up and he's like, whoa. And she's a redhead, and he's kind of taken by her. They start working together. He figures, I'm going to ask her out because I don't know what's happening in Naples, and she's been here for a while. And it just keeps going from there. And eventually, nature being the way it is, man and a woman, well. And of course, the Navy gets in the way with, how the Navy and the military does. So
Yes, yes. Well, isn't the slogan, if the Navy intended you to have a wife, they would have issued one.
Yes, they'd issue it in your Seabag. We were
Yes,
told that when I was in the Navy, yes.
Yes, I remember hearing that quite a few times when I was a Navy wife. So what are your plans after this book?
Well, I've already got a second book planning to come out at the end of July, beginning of August. And it's going to be a continuation of the Gene and Emily story because, like I said, Navy being the Navy, they get kind of hung and get separated in Naples. And he has to go off and finish the mission that he was on. And then after that, I'm hoping sometime in December, I'm going to have the first book on Lana, who is one of Emily's friends. And in the first book, In the Stars, we do talk about Lana and Carrie also, which are Emily's friends, and they met in boot camp and they're on the ship together. So the second book is titled Across the Sea, and the third book is Under the Blue Sky.
Wow, that's exciting. I think most of our people would enjoy reading a book. And I'm still amazed that a man who served in the Navy is now writing a romance novel, but I could see that. Aren't sailors known to be the best lovers in the world?
That's what I've been told.
Yes, well, I can vouch for that. I can vouch for that. I was married to
my wife had kind of I met her in 1997, and shortly thereafter, she had told me, because when we met, and it was a long distance relationship, so we had a lot of correspondence back and forth. It wasn't modern stuff, like now with instant with email and that. But so we wrote a lot of letters, and she told me even back then, you need to write a romance book. So from 1997 until probably about 2018, that's how long it took me to actually figure out the story I wanted to write.
Oh, that's so exciting. So you have a very supportive wife.
Yes.
Oh, ladies, I'm sorry he's taken.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you can't have him. He's got a wife. So we'll have to look around somewhere else. So Jim, it's been an honor to have you today. Is there anything else you want to add before we close here?
Just that I'm excited to be getting into doing the writing as an independent author, which that means I do everything myself. I have to go out and find the editor, the cover designers, the book formatters.
Wow.
So I do everything. So
Wow.
as an independent author, I'm I'm learning about marketing, all that type of stuff. So word of mouth is wonderful. If any of you go out there and read my book, I'd appreciate if you leave me a review, tell your friends, just keep passing it along. Just let people know it's there. Follow me on the different social medias. And I do have multiple stories coming out. That's the one thing that some people don't like with independent authors, is they come out and kind of do a one and done type thing, because it's hard. It's not easy.
Yes.
Yes.
I can
Right
real-
now I've got pretty good critical success with my book, but sales, not really. But I was told that would probably happen. So, but
Where
after
can we find your book now that we're
it's available on Amazon
right?
in Kindle and paperback, and it's also at Amazon, and it's on the Kindle Unlimited, which means you can actually download it for free if you have Kindle Unlimited.
Wow.
So
Well, those people certainly should leave you a review if they're getting your book for free.
definitely.
Yes, come on, folks. If you read Jim's book for free, you want to leave a review, and
And
a
what
good
people
one.
what people don't understand about the Kindle Direct or Unlimited is the author actually does get paid. I do get royalties on it. It's every page a person reads, I get like a sliver of a penny or something like that. So when they read the entire book, then it works out pretty good for me. But it also
And
helps the
I
reader.
understand with that rating, if the more people take it for free, the higher your rating is with Amazon too.
Yeah, and especially when you start getting more reviews, the way their mathematics and all that stuff work, then they start pushing you up the list.
All right, so all you people out there listening, we got to help this guy out because he's starting out. We can't let the Nicholas Sparks of the Navy be left behind. So make sure that if you get Jim's book, whether you buy it or you get it for free, that you're going to leave a review, and a good review. Write him something really sparky and fun so that people know that this is a book both men and women want to read. So
Yes, I've got both, men and ladies that have been reading it. And a couple of women that read it said that was the first time that they actually had read a romance book written by a guy, because that's traditionally not common. Even though some of the big names in romance are guys, it's not a super common thing.
especially military books. I mean, you just don't
Yes.
see romance novels. I've looked around, and when I was doing my book, and military books are mostly written about war, combat, boom, boom, bombs, and all that stuff, but seldom about the romance and the home life that goes
Yes.
along with serving in the military.
And mine's unique because most military romances, either the man or the woman's in the military, not both.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
I have to deal with, and they get talked to about this. You guys got to be careful about your, public display of affection. You just
Yes.
can't grab each other and start making out, especially while you're in uniform. And even when you're
Yes.
not in uniform, there's still certain rules you got to follow.
Yes, yes,
So-
there are strict rules about that. And it even overlaps to a military man and a woman. I mean, my husband was careful, although he just liked to kiss me wherever, it didn't matter. That
Yeah.
was my bud. So, so
It's like
anyway,
when
go
we were in
ahead.
boot camp, we had that talk and they said, hey, you guys with girlfriends, when they come down for Liberty Weekend, when you did your pass and review, here's the rules you got to follow. And,
Mhm.
I was engaged at the time to, she's now my ex-wife, but I was engaged to her. And when she got there, I had to explain to her, listen, I can't do this. And she wasn't too happy about it. So imagine when you get two new people that fresh love, but they're in the Navy together. So there's just rules that they have to follow. And so and a lot of civilians don't realize these things, or, not military people. So that's also a component of this. And the future books are the same way. Both individuals are Navy. So that's the whole special thing with my book and my series is the characters are all military. Yeah, there's the side characters, when they go off base and things like that. But, everything that's going to happen is going to happen within the confines of the military. And there's a lot of things that I know civilians just don't understand about it. Like how a
Yes,
person can actually get in trouble for something they didn't do just because the Navy's like, well, you made us look bad, so you're going to pay for it. And that's
yes,
going to
yes.
happen to one of the characters in a future book.
Yes, I understand that. But I want to tell you, it's been so nice that I could have you here today. A lot of my interviews have been with men, especially from Vietnam that got injured. Now, you're a younger version of that. You're not Vietnam era, I don't think, right? You're
No,
later.
I joined the Navy in 1990
Good.
in February. I went in when I was actually 22. I graduated high school in 1985 and went out and worked for a while. But even when I was in high school, I always kind of had that thought in my head that I want to join the military.
Huh.
And I almost did in 1998 or 89, excuse me. I actually drove to the recruiter's office and they'd moved. And I was like, bummer. So I didn't bother going there, but I had a job and I actually lost it in January 1990. And there was a recruiter office right next to where I lived. So I went there, and about a month later, I was down in Orlando at boot camp.
And you
So I was
became
in,
a sailor.
yeah, so I was in during the Persian Gulf time frame.
I see. So, well, thank you for joining me today. It was such a nice treat to have you with me, and I'm
Yeah,
excited
thank you.
about your books. I'm going to have to order one for me and take a look at it and see. I have a bit of downtime between my two, so I have time to read, and I'm always reading a book. I carry a book around in my hand most of the time, so definitely a Jim Adams romance book is on my list. So, folks, we're very happy that we could interview Jim today, and I'm very pleased and honored to have him with us. So, I would like to thank you all for coming today, and I'll welcome you back again for another edition of interviews. And be sure to check me out on YouTube, LinkedIn, excuse me, and also on Facebook. So, for now, guys, I'm going to say goodbye, send you virtual kiss, virtual hug. Thank you, Jim, for joining us